Saturday morning in Morgantown to celebrate the milestone of the transition to the clinical phase of education for this PA class of 2026. This is always a really special ceremony for us because we know how hard these students have worked. We sometimes forget how hard they worked even just to get into the program, and they certainly have worked very hard during these last 4 semesters. I think we don't tell them often enough, so I just want to tell them all with you as witnesses that we know how hard they worked to get here and how hard they've continued to work after they started the program. The didactic phase of our program, which they are just about finished up with, and you actually one short week, right? Yeah, it's a pretty rigorous program, pretty rigorous phase. From the very first semester, we challenge them to kind of study differently, to learn differently, and to think differently. Some of you may not be very aware of our curriculum, so I'll just give you a little bit of an overview of what these students have done since they started with us. So they started last January by studying the foundational medical sciences, physiology, pharmacology, and anatomy, and practicing the history-taking physical examination skills that are essential to patient evaluation. Since then, they've studied clinical conditions involving every organ system, learning the essentials of patient presentation, evaluation, and management. They've learned the clinical skills that are essential for stabilization and treatment of patients with a wide variety of acute and chronic conditions. They've also had the opportunity to practice their clinical reasoning skills and to apply the principles of evidence-based practice. There's so much more to our curriculum that I can't even begin to talk about all of it, but I just wanted to take a minute to thank all of the faculty who provided these students with an educational experience of the very highest quality. So first of all, thank you to the instructional faculty, some of whom may be here today or listening in on the live stream. We really appreciate all of their efforts to provide these students with a very strong foundation upon which to build their clinical knowledge. So the anatomy faculty, we thank Dr. Dave Rosici, Dr. Ashley Patrone, Dr. Heather Billings, Dr. Jillian Davis, Dr. Don Hunter, and Dr. Matthew Zadia. Physiology faculty, we thank Dr. Mark Paternostra and Dr. Steve Hardy. And our pharmacology faculty, thank you to Dr. Leah Hammer, Dr. Roseanne Santos, and Dr. Karen Woodfork. And neurobiology, you're going to be hearing from Dr. Mandich in a little bit, but thank you for the neurobiology instruction that you provide. Now, if our principal faculty could please stand for just a minute, I just want to acknowledge our core PA faculty. We have Director of Clinical Education, Dr. Forrest Olgers, and principal faculty, Professor Allison McNamara and Professor David Baldwin. And I just want to tell you all that these faculty are really the heart of the program. Students can tell you they spend the vast majority of time with these 3 people right here, and I'm very grateful for all their hard work that they put into making sure our students have the knowledge and the skills that they need to care for patients upon graduation. I can tell you, I've witnessed it, they prepare for class meticulously, they strive to present the most up-to-date information, and they try to make every learning experience very relevant. They care deeply about students' learning and their professional development, and they're always available to meet with students and share their insights, study tips, and career advice. It's not an exaggeration to say that the program could not function without them, so thank you for all that you do. Recognize some of our clinical preceptors and introduce our keynote speaker for today's ceremony. I just want to let you know that Dr. Olgers really deserves all the credit for putting together the amazing clinical experiences that this group of students is about to embark on. It's not an easy job to place 25 students in 11 different rotations each and every year. Dr. Olgers not only places the students, he focuses on identifying clinical preceptors that are committed to teaching so that every rotation is of the highest quality possible. Olgers, I will turn it over to you.
All right. Good morning. Thank you for having me. So it's an honor to be here and to celebrate our wonderful students here on the stage. This is truly a great milestone we've reached. And I wanted to say the theme of today's event is going to, you'll notice, to be the sacrifice ourselves for others. And so the students sacrifice so much to get here. You know, they've sacrificed having fun with friends, attending vacations with their family, going on concerts and different things they enjoy to study. And many would say it's to better themselves or be successful personally in their own careers. But in this field, and I can tell you, talking to each one of these students individually in our advising meetings and on a daily basis, that's not the case. It's not about them personally. It's about them sacrificing themselves so our communities can have better health and be better communities. So I'm really grateful for these students and the sacrifices that they've done. The next thing I also want to mention too is the parents and the families that are out here today with us. I was recently, if you weren't aware, I had my fourth child about 7 weeks ago, and before the first month newborn pictures, my wife said, "Are you going to get ready and get dressed?" And I said, "Hold on, I just have to finish hitting this button." And I was greeting my 529 for that child in the first month of its birth there. So looking back, I know how much you guys have sacrificed financially, overtime, savings, and et cetera, for all those college expenses that occur with these students. And so that's something we really want to recognize. So while this is a day for the students, I would like to take a minute and the students would give a big thank you to the parents. And then next, I have a few other people I want to recognize before I introduce our keynote speaker. One person I want to recognize individually is Miss Leslie Wilson. I don't know if you can stand for me here for a second. Leslie's instrumental in helping me place our students throughout WVU as the clinical sites. It's not necessarily a job duty of hers. She has many other job duties. This is where she goes above and beyond to help place our students. As far as I know, she has a student, a child that wants to get into the program. She has no other connection to the program other than, again, our theme of sacrificing herself for the greater good of other people in this situation for the students and you kids. So we wanted to thank you so much for everything you do for the program. Next, I want to thank our preceptors, and specifically we have a few I've seen in the audience and some I haven't seen you walk in. I apologize, but I don't know if Mr. Adam Costner and Ms. Kristen Jones can stand for us too here. Any other preceptors, if I didn't see you walk in, if you could stand for 1 second. We want to recognize you, give you a big round of applause here. The way things typically operate in a lot of professions is there's typically some sort of buy down or expectation where you may only work 80-90% expectation, your clinical duties, and your other 10 or 20% you would be given a buy down and actually teach the students. But with our preceptors, that's not the case. With our preceptors, they're expected to do 100% of their clinical job, and then on top of that, they're asked to precept the students, and not only precept the students, but also do evaluations, and et cetera. So again, it goes back to the theme of sacrificing themselves for the greater good of others. And then one of the biggest key figures in this program that I like to mention and recognize is our program director, Dr. Bowman. Year after year for the past 5 years, I've seen her stand at these events and recognize our faculty and students and administration and everyone else. But we deserve to recognize her as the backbone, the heart and the soul of this program. She's done so much, and a lot of times I know she feels that her duty, she has to do a lot of our accreditation standards, which falls from being in the office and things, and can't always be with the students. We get the joy of being with the students every day. And I she doesn't always get to do that, and she gets to do that a lot. So I wanted to take the time for us to recognize how much she does for our program. And then lastly, we're here to introduce our keynote speaker of the afternoon, and that is Ms. Janice Law. So it is truly a great pleasure of mine to introduce a friend and a colleague and a leader. Janice has been dedicated 37 years to the field of healthcare as a physician assistant, and she's bringing in-depth clinical knowledge in hematology, oncology, and immunology. Her impact has been not only at the bedside, but also nationally through her research in immunology and biologic therapy. Over the past decade, Janice has served as the Director of Advanced Practice Professionals here at WVU Medicine. She led with vision, compassion, and innovation. Under her leadership, her vision for the Physician Assistant Program was born. She created the needs assessment. She collaborated with WVU Medicine CMO. She worked with our senior council and all of the practicing clinicians in the hospital. And later, she worked with our Advantage and Board of Governors to actually get the program to come to fruition. She continued not only once she was successful in that, instead of moving on to the next thing, she didn't forget about it. She continued to interview students with us every year. She continued to lecture in didactic courses as well as callback days, and she continues to influence so many in their education and their careers. She's truly a pioneer for physician assistants. Beyond her institutional roles, she also serves at both the state and the national levels. I could be here until afternoon talking about how many legislative endeavors she's worked on and all of the benefits that we have as physician assistants practicing in this state she's been a part of. And we believe that her advocacy and policy has had a huge impact on the state and the profession. So please welcome me and join a dedicated clinician, educator, leader, and personal mentor and friend of mine, Janice Law.
I had chosen for my conversation with you this morning, Dr. Bowman had kind of said, what do you kind of want to give as a theme, a couple of sentences, or just kind of a prodrome to what your conversation is going to be about, and I chose The Horizon is Yours. I want to say first, dear physician assistant students, esteemed faculty, honored guests, proud families, and most importantly, again, the talented PAs that we have here on the stage. Congratulations on reaching this pivotal moment. As you know, I've often said, if you weren't talented, you wouldn't be here, right? And you've made a huge effort to get to this place. Today, everybody celebrates this accomplishment, and to celebrate the momentous occasion, the white coat ceremony is for you, class of 2026. This is a day of significant importance. It's a day that marks the transition from dedicated students to future healthcare providers as PAs. It is an honor to stand before you, it really is, to share your joy and your anticipation as you don the white coat, which is not only a symbol of your commitment to the art and science of healing, but your entry into the noble profession of being a PA. It's a beacon of hope, a promise of service, and a commitment to a brighter future for patient care and also for the healthcare industry. One of my very first aspirations at WVU Medicine was participation with the founding team of architects to create this esteemed and now acclaimed and mature PA program. So I am personally very proud to be part of this celebration. With this year's theme, The Horizon is Yours, let's explore what lies ahead and how you can embrace it with courage and with purpose. Embracing the journey is first. As you stand on the threshold of this new chapter, remember that the horizon is yours. The horizon is a reminder of endless possibilities. Just as it stretches before you, so does your future as a PA. The white coat you wear today is not just a garment. It's a testament to your dedication, your perseverance, and your passion for medicine. It signifies your readiness to embrace the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead in your journey as a PA in clinical medicine. You've chosen a path that demands excellence, empathy, and resilience. So the horizon is yours to explore, to innovate, and to make a difference in the lives of countless individuals. With every patient you encounter, every person you touch, you have the power to bring hope, compassion, and healing. It's an awesome thing. Your journey will be filled with moments of triumph, of trials, of tough decisions, and emotional moments. But each step you take will shape you into the exemplary healthcare provider you aspire to be, and also to future shape the landscape of healthcare. Remember, every challenge brings you closer to your goals and strengthens the bond of trust you will build with your patients and the confidence you will build with yourself within. Those of you that know me know I love to share poignant quotes from those before us who have impacted generations, such as a quote from Hippocrates, who, as you may recall, was an ancient Greek physician and philosopher, dating back to 460 BC. He was actually regarded as the father of medicine. He was admired as a physician and a teacher, and the Hippocratic Oath is based on his ideals. Hippocrates' most famous quote is apropos: "Wherever the art of medicine is loved, there is also a love of humanity." This quote exemplifies the honorable path you have chosen as PAs, a path that I personally welcome you to today. The commitment to lifelong learning is next. The field of medicine is continually evolving, like shifting sand, and thus as a PA you must remain committed to lifelong learning. You know that. The horizon is yours to continually expand your knowledge, to stay abreast of the latest medical advancements, and to always strive for further excellence in patient care. Embrace the curiosity that brought you to this point. Let it guide you in your continued quest of knowledge. The path of the horizon is not always smooth. There will be uphill climbs and unforeseen detours, but remember, the challenges are just opportunities in disguise. Your excellent education has fully equipped you with the tools and the skills necessary to make informed decisions and provide exceptional care. But remember that learning extends beyond the classroom. It is a lifelong pursuit that requires dedication, humility, and an unwavering commitment to your patients. Empathy and compassion is next. The horizon is yours to touch the lives of others with empathy and compassion. Your white coat is a symbol of trust when it comes to the responsibility to treat each patient with dignity and respect. Listen to their stories, understand their feelings, and offer comfort in times of need. Your ability to connect with your patients on a human level is what will set you apart as a remarkable healthcare provider and a PA. The white coat is more than an emblem of knowledge. It's a symbol of empathy, integrity, and service. Never underestimate the impact of a kind word, a gentle touch, or a reassuring smile. These simple acts of compassion will make a world of difference to someone in pain or distress. Let this coat remind you to approach every encounter with compassion, to listen without judgment, and to serve with unwavering dedication. Self-reflect on what this white coat means to you. And as you move forward in your career, let empathy be the cornerstone of your practice. Some of the most meaningful moments I have had in my career, decades in fact, being a PA, has been the humility of serving patients and impacting their lives. I will never forget many of these individual and profound moments and know they have shaped me into the person I am. Many who know me know that I often say I adored patient care. And many of you have heard some of these stories during my presentations in the classroom. And I apologize personally if I let some of those hours with me run a little bit over because I shared those stories. But you too will find your moments. Don't hurry. They will shape you too. And they are in your horizon. That's where they live. And that's where your patients live. Innovating the future is the next approach. The horizon is yours to innovate and shape the future of healthcare. As PAs, you're uniquely positioned to bridge gaps, improve access to care, and advocate for your patients. Be bold in your pursuit of innovation. Seek out new solutions to complex problems, and collaborate with your colleagues to drive positive changes in the medical field. No one reaches the horizon alone. As PAs, you are integral members of the healthcare team. And as I often say, medicine is a team sport. Interdisciplinary members of your healthcare team will allow you to provide holistic and compassionate care. Together, you will achieve outcomes that are greater than the sum of their parts. Your fresh and independent perspectives and creative ideas have the potential to revolutionize patient care. Embrace the challenges as opportunities to grow and make meaningful contributions to the advancement of medicine where you live. In conclusion, today as you don your white coat, remember that the horizon is yours. The horizon is filled with promise, potential, and purpose. So embark on this journey. Let the horizon inspire you, not intimidate you. Dream big, work hard, care for yourself, and always, always remember, you chose this profession. You own it. You've worked tirelessly to reach this point. And now it's time to embark on the next phase of your journey. Please embrace the challenges, seize the opportunities, and let your passion for medicine guide you towards a future filled with hope. Healing and innovation as the markers of your challenge. The horizon is not just a distant line, it's yours to chase, to claim, and to conquer for your own. Go forth with confidence, and may your journey be as boundless as the horizon itself, and as it has been for me as a PA. Congratulations to each one of you on this remarkable achievement. The horizon is yours. Now go forth and make it your own. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jan, for those wonderful words. It's almost time for the awarding of the white coats. But before we do that, I just want to give you kind of my thoughts on the white coat and just have us reflect on that for a minute. I'd like for you to each think about what wearing the white coat means to you. We sometimes talk about what the white coat means in very general terms or from the patient's perspective. As Jan said, we think about things like professionalism, respect, trust, knowledge, and all of that is very true. But I would urge you to let the white coat be a symbol of what you hope to embody as a medical professional. Which attributes would you put at the forefront of patient care? What do you want the white coat to remind you about? You may want to be reminded about the need for compassion. You might want to be reminded about the need for empathy. You might want to be reminded about the need to advocate for your patients. It may be all of these, or it may be something entirely different. So So whatever it is, I hope that you allow the white coat to center your thoughts on the type of PA that you want to be. So with that, I'm going to have you guys stand and prepare to receive your white coats. And the white coats are going to be awarded by Professor David Baldwin, assisted by Professor Allison McNamara. So I'll call the students' names one by one and have them come out on stage to receive their coat. First is Jen Alvis. Jessica Amadra. Clayton Baldwin. Jody Benitez. Miss Deja Bolliard. Autumn Brown. Allison Copenhaver. Jacob Hoover. Sarah Hudacek. recite the physician assistant professional oath along with Professor McNamara.
I pledge to perform the following duties with honesty and dedication. I will hold as my primary responsibility the health, safety, welfare, and dignity of all human beings. I will uphold the tenets of patient autonomy, beneficence, non-maleficence, and justice. I will recognize and promote the value of diversity. I will treat equally all persons who seek my care. I will hold in confidence the information shared in the course of practicing medicine. I will assess my personal capabilities and limitations, striving always to improve my medical practice. I will actively seek to expand my knowledge and skills, keeping abreast of advances in medicine. I will work with other members of the healthcare team to provide compassionate and effective care of patients. I will use my knowledge and experience to contribute to an improved community. I will respect my professional relationship with the physician. I will share and expand knowledge within the profession. These duties are pledged with sincerity and upon my honor.
It's my honor now to introduce Dr. Mary Beth Mandich, Vice Dean for Health Professions in the School of Medicine and Professor in the Division of Physical Therapy. I won't say exactly how long Dr. Mandich has been at WVU, but I will say that it's long enough to have acquired a great deal of wisdom, and I want to thank her for sharing just a little bit of that wisdom with me. During her time at WVU, Dr. Mandich has been instrumental in developing and overseeing undergraduate, graduate, and doctoral programs that train students to provide critical health services to patients in our state and beyond. And though she heads more than a dozen academic programs, she somehow manages to make each program think that they are her favorite. In addition to her many administrative duties, Dr. Mandich carries a heavy teaching load, including teaching 2 courses within our PA curriculum. She also maintains a regular clinical practice as a pediatric physical therapist with a specialization in neonatal follow-up care and high-risk infant development. Dr. Mandich worked tirelessly to get this PA program up and running, and she worked closely with me to ensure that we received full accreditation. As I was writing this, I felt like I kept saying worked a lot, so I was trying to look for another word that could substitute for work. So my thesaurus provided words like soiled, labored, slogged, and drudged when making that. So it seemed to me, as I looked at those, that some of those were pretty apt for describing the whole accreditation process. So I'm grateful for her for putting up with me through all of that. Dr. Mandich has always been and remains a strong advocate for our program. Over the years, I've gone to her with many questions of all sorts, and she always has an answer. I'm comforted by knowing that the PA program and its students will always have her support. I know that no matter the issue, I always feel better after I talk with her, and I'm forever grateful for her support. So, Amanda, turn it over to you.
Thank you for those lovely words. Get me all choked up. Well, when I do these talks at these ceremonies, people will always say, do you want to be first on the program or do you want to be last on the program? So the disadvantage of being last on the program is that everybody's already said everything I wanted to say. So, but I do think that one of the things that's important about that is that in particularly these white coat ceremonies, even more so than graduation ceremonies, there are themes. And you'll hear the themes as I tell you some of the things I wanted to talk about. I do want to acknowledge the families, again, not only for physical support, financial support, but emotional support. Having put 4 children of my own through college, I know what it's like to get the phone call that I can't do this anymore, or I'm going to fail this test, or I'm so nervous. So thank you for all of the support you've given and for the emotional support as well. And I want to also add my words of thanks to the faculty. One of the privileges of my position is that I just work with wonderful people. And so it makes it very easy. And when everyone that you work with has a goal that is one of caring for others and service, it just, we're all on the same pathway. So I appreciate their care and attention, their dedication to their field and to the education of these students. And so lastly, a few words to the students. I was saying to Dr. Moman, I think I taught your very first class, and I think I'll probably give you one of your final exams, at least for the didactic phase of the curriculum. So that's really a privilege. I wanted to remind you that these ceremonies are significant, but they are not the end. So you will still be learning over the next year. So I have had many times students like, well, if I can just get through finals week, I'm in my clinical year, yay. Well, you are in your clinical year, but you are still learning. So appreciate the opportunities to learn that you have in the clinical year. The next thing I want to say is that I have a very conflicted relationship with white coats. And as you know, I work with little children. And the conflict in that relationship is that we simply don't wear them. And we don't wear them, why? Because they're scary to little kids. And the way I've resolved that conflict is saying, the white coat does set me apart as a provider and as a professional, but it's not a position of power. It's a message of service, that I have dedicated my life to trying to make others' lives better. And the part of the message that I have for you that you've already heard as a theme is I wanted to be sure to talk about compassion and empathy. And you've heard that from everybody who's come to the podium today. But one of the things that I think is so important is that I think it's because people feel a real need for compassion and empathy at this point. And so don't forget that. Having sat through hundreds, maybe thousands of admissions folios for different professions, everyone comes in saying, I want to help people. To the point that some admissions committees even dismiss that. They're like, they just want to help people. But somewhere along the line, in the grind, sometimes that can get lost, and people just become another line on the epic schedule for your day. And I urge you to not fall into that trap in the grind of our healthcare system. As a former caregiver, I can tell you that to go to one appointment for my family, I would have to take a half day off work. It would be the center of my parents' existence to go to that appointment. And if that appointment is brief or cursory or dismissive, it is such a letdown because you've waited all week for that appointment. So please respect the fact that people come to you and you are the most important part of their day, even if they are just part of a list for you. One of my refrigerator magnets says, remember, to the world you may be one person, but to one person you may be the world. And I think that really sums up how we should approach each of our encounters. I can promise you, you will have moments where you will be absolutely humbled by the resilience of the human spirit. And let that wash over you and feel gratitude for this field that you have chosen. Just a couple of other words. In addition to remembering that you are still learning, remember that learning can be both positive and negative. So you can have some experiences where you may learn something that you don't want to do. Like, I never want to act like that, or be like that, or talk like that. So even though those don't feel like good learning experiences, they're learning experiences all the same. Most of the time, appreciate the wisdom of your clinical preceptors who do this out of a dedication to the profession. And as Dr. Alger said, just give freely of their time to support you in your education. And lastly, no pressure. You bear the mantle of the WVU Physician Assistant Program wherever you go. As Dr. Alters can tell you, it is difficult to find rotations and it's competitive. If you are unprofessional, which I know you wouldn't be, but you can taint the reputation of WVU and damage the access to that rotation for the students coming after you. What is music to my ears is when I go to receptions and events, or I'm out in the clinic and people say, you guys are doing a great job with your PA students, and I would take a WVU PA student over a student from any other college. So you guys go out there and carry the mantle of WVU's Physician Assistant Education Program proudly. And I will look forward to seeing you for a couple more days and a test. And then I will see you in the elevator hallways and at graduation. And congratulations, class of 2026.
Before I give my final words to the students, I just wanted to make a few acknowledgments. I wanted to say thank you to Julie Blasek and Teresa Lucci for helping us to organize this event today. Teresa couldn't be with us, and I hope that she's watching it from home. And if you're watching, Teresa, we all miss you, and we'll see you back soon. I want to thank Dr. Chang for taking the time to live stream this ceremony for us so that all of your friends and family who couldn't be here with us today can participate and witness this ceremony. I hope that you'll all join us for a little reception out in the lobby afterwards. As Dr. Mandage said, the next time that we all get together, it's going to be for graduation. So I hope you take a little bit of time and get to know each other here. Okay. Another quick note, I put together a little gift for all of you. So when you go out, you can take one of the little blue bags. I wanted to explain the book that I put in there as well, just briefly. I don't know if anybody has read it, but it's called Being Mortal, Medicine and What Matters in the End. Has anybody read that? It's by Dr. Atul Gawande, who is a surgeon and a fairly well-known author. He's written a few other books, so I encourage you to look at those as well. But I'll paraphrase a little bit from the back cover, just so you understand why I thought it was an important book. The book is full of moving stories and profound insights about how modern medicine often neglects the wishes people might have beyond mere survival. It shows how the ultimate goal is not a good death, but a good life, all the way to the very end. So I hope you'll find time to read it and then share it widely with others. His insights, I believe, are really the ultimate example of the patient-centered care that we should all be striving for in clinical practice. So enjoy that book. Now for my final words to you all. Since I don't get to teach you as much, I'm going to be captive here for just another minute or two. As everybody has said previously, I think it's really important that you take advantage of the clinical year to practice the habits that are going to set you up for success throughout the rest of your career. So recognize when you need to seek more information and always strive to improve your clinical skills. Respect and utilize all the members of your healthcare team. Embrace the diversity in your patients. And let every patient whose challenges you bear witness to lead you to become a more compassionate provider. I want to let you know that as you prepare to start your clinical education, it's common to question your medical knowledge. It's common to question your ability to make a diagnosis. It's also common to question the accuracy of your clinical skills, or simply to wonder what you, as a student, can contribute to the care of the patient. So if you ever have a day when you feel this way, and I'm pretty sure you probably will at some point, I would encourage you to focus not on what you didn't know, but on what you gained that day. So think about what you learned by the end of the day that you didn't know at the start. Think about what you did that day to make each patient's experience just a little bit better. Think about about how the day changed you. Maybe you witnessed a wonderful example of a team member demonstrating compassion in an interaction with a patient. Maybe you witnessed a clinical counter that for some reason didn't go so well. But all of these moments that occur every day contribute to your professional growth and help you to develop into the type of healthcare provider that you want to be. So lastly, I just want to let you know that we already missed you, and we wish you the best of luck as you begin the next phase of your training. We're confident that you have the personal attributes, knowledge, and skills needed to succeed in a clinical setting. Remember that each of your rotations has something important to teach you. We look forward to hearing about all of your experiences, and we want you to know that we're always here for you. That concludes our ceremony. I'll let the students head out. If you don't mind to maybe gather for a quick photo.